Welcome back to the Morning Juice. This is your host, Juice. Today's guest is Donnie Nickey. Welcome to the show, Donnie.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
We got to talk to each other before the show, and got to know you a little better. You've had a pretty interesting life so far. Like it's like crazy interesting what we've learned about so far.
Yeah, man. I'm beyond blessed. My football career started in seventh grade, so I didn't play football until I was in seventh grade. My parents didn't want me to get hurt or stunt my growth, so they held me out of Pee Wee. And seventh grade was my first year of football. I was the quarterback. I went to a small school in Ohio. Grew up in Ohio, and very first play, I fumbled the snap, picked it up, and ran for a touchdown. And then the next day at school, man, they announced the stats over the PA, and they said, blah, 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 Donnie Nickey. And man, I love that. So I got that hit of dopamine off
Right there, football, right off the rip.
Football, just getting recognized for it. I fell in love with that. Like, I figured out the day I want to chase this and really make it a piece of my identity. And man, it changed my life for sure. Grew up in Central Ohio. Was born in Akron. Moved to Plain City, which is a suburb of Columbus. Went to Ohio State. I played.
There you
well
go,
enough.
Ohio State fans. He was a Buckeye.
Went to the Ohio State University. They recruited me late, so I was a junior when I got recruited, and that's way late now. But,
Yeah, these days it's.
But I was local. The coaches came out. I went to a camp there, and I ran a really good time. Got some offers from some MAC schools. Ohio State was kind of late because they were just kind of vetting me, so they wanted to see me play my that senior year.
Yeah.
So about halfway into it, they offered me a scholarship. Somebody decommitted, so there was an open spot. I was a local guy. I was already committed to another place to play baseball and football at Ohio University. And I went on a visit, and man, it scared me to death. And so that fear of, man, this is where I want to be. Like, man, I had to follow that fear and really, because you go to a smaller place that's safer, or you go to a place that, man, you got to stretch and really think that you don't think you're quite good enough.
Right.
To do. So that adrenaline rush, man, I picked the adrenaline rush.
More dopamine.
Yeah.
I could go to this college and be safe, or I could go to the college and get that dopamine rush play.
And maybe not play, but I'm gonna give it my best shot, man.
Right.
I'm gonna take a swing at it. And being local, I could work out there early. So after I graduated high school, I started working out there. This is before all the early.
Yeah.
Like this is 1990, 99 or 98. This is 1998.
Yeah, it's before the early graduations where
all
people
that
are coming in spring before they were supposed to graduate and everything now.
And man, I remember showing up at Ohio State to work out and just puking every day for 2 weeks, man, because I had never lifted weights or ran like that. And we ran so much, man. I threw up every day for 2 weeks, and that was my introduction to like big time football. And I remember thinking, man, I can compete with I can run with these guys, like, and I was still just scared of not fitting in and all the things of coming to college, but just having confidence in myself and having a good spiritual base from when I was a kid. I was a Catholic, introduced to everything through Catholicism, and man, I didn't really jive with it, but I got an understanding of the basics of Christianity and Catholicism. Football superseded everything. I became a follower of football.
Right.
Once I got to Ohio State, and then the reaction of once the kids got to school, because we would report early, and then the kids would come in, and man, everybody knew your name. It was like being a celebrity. So man, I really, really loved that part. I hated to be singled out and get the spotlight, but I didn't want the attention. But I loved the notoriety.
Right. I don't want all this attention, but I want you at least still just know who I am.
Yeah.
Got invited to all the good parties out there.
Yep, all of them. Yep.
Drinking started in college.
Yeah, drinking started in college. Didn't really drink a whole lot in high school. Man, we lived in the country. My parents kind of kept me penned up. The first time I ever drank was in high school, and I drank a bottle of Jack, threw up the next day.
Oh yeah.
Never do this again. But once I got to college, man, I mean, that's where you learn. That's where you experiment.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I was one of the smaller guys. We had a smaller recruiting class, and then my roommate was from Kentucky, and he was a big lineman. So I thought I could drink with him. And I mean, we'd go to town before we'd go out. So both redshirted. So redshirted is when all you do is practice and lift. You don't play in the games. And that was 1998. Ohio State, we were number 1 the entire year. We lost to Michigan State, Nick Saban, and then beat Texas A&M in the Sugar Bowl. But that's when those game days, we would have to work out on Friday, and then we'd have the weekend off. We'd go to the game, but we didn't have to do anything Friday or Saturday or Sunday.
Right.
So, I mean, we'd start drinking Thursday, Friday. I mean, I remember throwing up in the parking lot a few Fridays from that morning workout from Thursday. But, I mean, we would pregame pretty hard. And, man, Columbus is a great town. There's lots of bars at Ohio State. Man, we went to them all.
Yeah, because, I mean, you're actually celebrities.
Yeah, they let us behind the bar. They closed it down.
They're like, they'll close it down for you.
Yeah. And, man, we had a good time. And, like I said, my roommate was a lineman, and I wanted to. My biggest fear was to be called the P word. Like, yeah, don't call me like,
you don't call you a pussy.
Yeah, don't call me a pussy.
Right.
That was my biggest fear. Man.
Yeah, don't call me that.
Yeah, especially around football, and man, that being your identity. So I never wanted to think like I couldn't outdrink somebody. It was just everything was a competition. So it's how much weight can you lift, how fast can you run, just competition.
Right.
In that age.
Now I can't let my 300-pound lineman that outweighs me by 100 pounds.
So if we're gonna go shot, we're gonna split a bottle of Jaeger, or we're gonna split a 30-pack, Natty Light 30-pack before we go out. I'm gonna keep up. And man, I just did that until I couldn't do it anymore. Like we drink a lot. Football season, off season. Got a 4.0 my freshman year in college, and then spring rolled around. So got 4.0 in the winter, and then spring rolled around, and I asked Coach Cooper, the head coach at Ohio State, if I could play baseball in the spring. He said, "Not if you want to play football in the fall." So I put that down. I really put my nose to the grindstone and worked out as hard as I could, and started making plays. Had some good coaches that believed in me. Man, made a bunch of plays in spring ball, and then earned a spot to start that next year. So I redshirted my freshman year. So my redshirt freshman year, I ended up starting the next 4 years.
Nice.
And we were really good in '98, and then we went 6-6 that first year I started. So man, it was an adjustment, man. Like the media was very, like, they were on top of you, man. They were asking you questions, and being the new guy and struggling, man, I had to find a way to deal with all that pressure. Just the pressure of being a starter, and the letdown of not performing at
and
your
all
best.
The fans,
100,000 fans.
Not being able to walk around Columbus because you're going 6-6. That's not normal Ohio State football.
No, that is unacceptable. And I mean, there was a lot of new guys, but man, we struggled that year, and just picked up the drinking and started drinking and smoking weed to really kind of deal with the pain of playing football and the pressure, and just to disconnect from all that stuff, and just feel like I could connect with other people. So
yeah.
I was searching for other ways, and slowly but surely, I mean, football, I started to worship football, and that became my higher power, just football in general and sports. And man, I started to think maybe I was a little different than other people.
Yeah,
because you get treated differently in school. I mean, at Ohio State, I got grades that I didn't really earn. We got preferential treatment, and man, I started to think, man, maybe I am different. And yeah, so my ego started to build and build.
I mean, it gives you a complex.
We struggled that first year, but so I got benched the last game of the season. I got benched for a guy named Mike Doss, who's a Hall of Fame Ohio State guy, man, great player. So he played in place of me that last game of that season, my redshirt freshman season, and then I ended up playing the next 3 years, me and Mike together starting. So I started for 4 years, just got benched that one game, and then we ended up winning the national championship in 2002 against Miami, Florida. And man, that was the greatest game I've ever played, man. Just like, man, I got knocked out in the first quarter. I was the personal protector on punt team, and Sean Taylor hit me out of nowhere. And man, I don't remember anything from there.
I bet you didn't, because I mean, Sean Taylor's considered one of the hardest hitters of all time.
Yeah,
Even
he
though
was
he
a
had
freak,
such a
man,
short
yeah.
career because of his unfortunate passing. But like, yeah, I can imagine getting blindsided by Sean Taylor. Like, I don't even want to imagine how bad that hurt.
Yeah, it was lights out. I was concussed, but I don't have any memories of the game, but I played it. I played the whole game. Like,
You played the whole
yeah,
game.
man, I played the whole game. I never come out of the game. I mean, I wasn't gonna come out. Like, no matter how, as long as I could see and protect myself, I was gonna play. And so, man, I don't remember that game real well, but I remember the afterwards. And man, we won that national championship. That's the best time ever. And I got drafted because of it. Got drafted in the 5th round to the Titans in 2003. I was the 154th pick, which is the 5th round pick.
Yeah, just hearing your name
Man, it
called
was
was
awesome.
like,
Yeah, I was, and that's where I was when on draft day. I remember draft day. It was on my 23rd birthday, so I turned 23 on draft day in 2003, and I was at home drinking beer on my back porch, waiting for. I knew I was going to get called the first day, but the second day, I expected it, so I couldn't eat. I couldn't eat a thing. I was just drinking beer, just to get just to take the edge off.
So who called you? Who called you?
Jeff Fisher called me and said, "Hey, we're going
nice.
to draft you." They traded the Patriots. The Titans traded the Patriots for the pick, and they gave them the 6th round pick to get me. So, man, it was awesome. It was a dream come true. I mean, my dream was always to play for the Cleveland Browns.
Of course.
Yeah, but I was happy to get my name called nevertheless, and that changed my life too. Coming to Nashville, my rookie year, we ended up actually playing against the Browns, the very first preseason game.
Yeah.
And Lance Schulters was the starter, and he had Bell's palsy from a dental operation, and I got to play that entire first preseason game against the Browns. So my dream really came true. It was just playing.
It's not one of God moments.
It
right
was
there.
for sure God. Like, that was no question, like, out of my control. And man, I'm so grateful but that was one of the best games I ever played in my life. Because it was against
because you had to show out against the Browns.
Yeah,
like you
absolutely.
had to.
Yeah,
Your hometown team, that's a must.
yeah.
So since you was a Browns fan, that means you absolutely couldn't stand the Bengals, then, right?
Yeah, I'm not a big Bengals fan. Not a big Bengals fan.
So are you still a Browns fan?
Yeah, I mean, I still keep up with the Browns. I still hope.
Still
I
pray
still want
one
them to
day?
be good. Yeah, pray for them to be good. Like,
Pray for a winning season.
yeah, pray for something to change, man.
Right.
It's like being a Titans fan now. I mean,
Yeah,
it's tough sledding right now.
it is. So you go to the Titans, fifth
Yeah,
round
go to
pick.
the Titans, 5th round pick. Man, lived downtown my rookie year. Got a roommate. I lived downtown on Church and 7th Street
I
downtown.
know exactly where that's at.
Yeah, the Benny Dillon, it was called.
Yeah.
In this apartment building. My friend Ryan Long and I, he was a defensive tackle. He was the 4th round pick.
Yeah.
We became close in training camp, and then got that place at the Benny Dillon. And man, we had a good time. We had a blast. Like, we lived it up. Got introduced to the length of a college or of a NFL schedule. Man, just the difference in being a professional athlete versus being a student athlete. It's a little closer to it now, like closer now
Than it was back
with the
then.
NIL and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's always been professional football. Ohio State was professional football back then in the 90s
Yeah.
and 2000s. But now it is professional football. Now it's kind of what it was back then.
Yeah.
But just adjusting to that and knowing that I could be cut at any time was something that I had to get used to. Like, that I was there. I never had any job security. I made the team by covering kicks, by really busting the wedge on. Back in the day, man, they used to have 4 big guys, 4 offensive, defensive linemen, all hold hands together and just run down the field, and you'd have to send 2 guys to take 2. So there's 4 guys, you'd send 2, boom, boom, and the job was to take out 2 of the guys, like, just make them block you.
Yeah.
And if you did that, somebody would be free. And I figured out that was my ticket to staying on the team. My best ability was availability. Like, so the more I could do, the better chance I had to stick around. Because, I mean, the NFL, the difference between the NFL and college are everybody's fast, and these are grown men feeding their family. Like it's a different mindset, man. It's an adjustment to mature emotionally. Well, not really emotionally, but mentally. I mean, you got to grow up, you got to mature, you got to become a professional.
Now, when you went to the NFL, did you cut back on your drinking when you went?
Yeah, absolutely. Until I'm in my rookie year, I would drink here and there. Usually after every game, I drink a little bit, but I wasn't drinking too much during the week until I got a few years under my belt. And I mean, the NFL is a drug culture. I mean, it's every NFL locker room or every NFL team has their own pain management facility in the locker room. It's the training room. I mean, because everybody's in pain. Everybody's managing their pain. There's all kinds of things that you do. I mean, every day you're getting in the hot tub. You're getting an ice tub. Before every game, I was getting a shot of Toradol. I was getting a bag of IVs. We would get painkillers on the plane, at home, in the locker room, and before we got on the plane from away games. So get used to taking pills to make myself feel better.
Right.
And
from all the aches and pains,
yeah.
and then I mean, at that point, it's just a daily regimen at this point. So like, you just get used to taking them just to take them now.
Yep. Yeah, you just get used to doing that, and man, that really kind of, and my drinking picked up, so I drink more when I could. Never really missed work. I mean, I was pretty dedicated, and man, had a really good football career. Man, I'm so blessed that it was as long as it was, and I played 8 years.
Yeah, because I think, but the average NFL career is only like 2 years because people getting cut.
It's like, I think it's right under 3 years.
Yeah,
because and also people get cut, and you also get vested at 3.5 years. So everybody has to make a decision. Every team's got to make a decision to fund your pension or not.
So once you get 3.5 years, you get
benefits. Yeah, your benefits, you qualify to get the benefits
for life,
which are really good. Yeah.
Oh, that's good
for pension, and then and then depending on how long you play, it's all dependent on how many credited seasons you get.
Okay.
So the benefits are great. The services that they offer are really good. The things that aren't so good are it's not guaranteed contracts, so they can cut you at any time until you're in that third year. They can cut you at any time without paying you your money. The guaranteed contracts, and then they don't give us health insurance. So they give you 5 years of health insurance after you're done playing, but once those 5 years are up, you're on your own for health insurance.
Which it's got to be hard to get health insurance.
You don't need 5 years after you're done playing.
Yeah.
You need 5 years, after 5 years that you've played. For the rest of your life.
Right. Because at this point, you're like, you go fill out health insurance paperwork, and they ask you your occupation. You're like, former NFL player, like, hell no, we do not want that headache on our, because they're trying to make money, and that's a lot of injuries and stuff that y'all been going through and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with the drug culture that the NFL has or had or whatever it is, I'm going to say they probably still have, because they're faster now than they was 20 years ago, for sure. Is that when your addiction started, or did your addiction start after your NFL career?
No, it kind of incubated while I was playing and really took off after I retired.
Because you still had that dopamine from playing football.
And I had a lot of emotional pain that I hadn't addressed. And the really big thing that happened was my dad passed away. My dad drank himself to death in through 2008, and then he died in 2009. Right after he died, I was in bad shape mentally, and God dropped an angel in my life, and I met my wife, and she really kind of took care of me, sanctified me, brought me closer to God. And
hey, that's beautiful.
Kind of introduced me to who Jesus was and Christianity, and because man, I'd always been the Catholic, like the rules and stuff, but never really understood the gospel and who the disciples were, and she kind of really introduced me to.
So God put her right in your life,
absolutely.
Right when everything was
right
crashing
when I was
out.
about to go nuts. Yeah, right when I was about to go off the rails.
So was you suicidal at this point? Would you say?
I mean, I would. It was to a point where I was drinking as much as I possibly could, eating a lot of pills, man. And then I met her, and like she was a light when I was in a really dark place. So I finished my career, and then it took a couple years. Well, it was about 2012 when really got bad. My addiction kind of really got bad.
So after your playing days,
when I was done playing,
when you don't have the cheering crowds no more.
Yeah, didn't have you just have that identity struggle of what am I now?
Yeah, because I mean, you said 7th grade.
Yeah.
So from 7th grade until
age 30.
So you had 18, possibly 17, 18 years where like you were, even though you didn't like the spotlight, you liked everybody knowing who you was at least. Yeah. You didn't want to be on every interview, but like you want everybody to know. Everybody wants.
That was an easy mask to hide behind. It was really
because
easy.
You didn't have to be your real self because you had this persona.
Yeah, I could play a part because I mean, playing football, you're not that same person that's on the field.
No,
you can't be like the traits that make you a really good football player. They make you a felon outside football in real life. And man, it was hard to disconnect some of that stuff. And man, I had to really kind of rebuild my spiritual life and have that spiritual bankruptcy and go through addiction. Like I started a bar and was drinking a lot. I got hooked on painkillers, opiates, and man, just went through that whole thing. I went through a period where I was just trying different substances. I couldn't use anything successfully, thinking I was addicted, but maybe I could use this successfully. Nope. Checked them all off. Got introduced to treatment.
Did you go anywhere local?
Treatment centers. I went to Discovery Place out in Dixon.
Shout out Discovery Place.
I went to a place in Texas. I've been to a place in South Carolina. Like, been to a lot. I've had about as much sober time as I've had using time, and really committing to the program, the 12 steps, and really helping others and doing that service work and really unlocking that fourth dimension of recovery where you're purpose driven and really doing things for other people.
Yeah.
And comfortable in your own skin.
But does that give you the dopamine now?
Yeah, absolutely.
See, that's what me and you were talking before the show, and we was talking about the service work aspect. And I think for us in recovery, that's like one of the most important parts besides having our spirituality is to have that service work component, because you don't realize how much that makes you feel good. And it makes you like really want to, like, I've got sponsees also, and like for me, just having sponsees, it makes me work harder for my own recovery because I want to be that beacon of light for them to show that, hey, this thing really works if you just work it,
Yeah.
And so like when you say it makes you feel like the fourth dimension, I understand how you feel, because that's how I feel about my service work. It's like and it gives me that's my dopamine now. Like doing my service work, doing this podcast, it's like I could have the worst day ever. Like today wasn't a fantastic day, but I knew all day long I was going to get a podcast in, and it's just like nothing was going to rain on my parade today, because I was like, I'm going to get to sit down and do a podcast today. And it's just, the service work that we do is super important to everything that we got going on. Yeah. Question I have, because I know somebody would want to know, when you went through your treatment centers and you was trying to find your sobriety, did the NFL kick you to the side, or did they help you?
No, they've got really good benefits and programs, and I mean they're aware of the issues of addiction and dependence and mental health, and man, they did a really good job, took care of me in a lot of instances. So I'm very grateful for all the programs that the NFL has. So
we're going to shout them out for that. Yeah. NFL, great job on that.
Great job.
Because they could use it as you don't work for us no more. But thank God they don't. Because they still understand.
They do a great job, man. They're aware of it, and they help me through a lot of things.
Well, because to me, you said that football was your higher power for the longest time, and then it was also your dopamine. So it was basically your addiction. So your football career was your higher power and your addiction. And then once you retire, you lost your higher power, your identity, and that addiction. So it's going to lead to some other sort of addiction. So like, that's why unfortunately, we see a lot of players that go through this, because, with the concussion aspect and everything else, or even being away from your family as much as y'all are during the NFL season, like just the mental health aspect of it, I can see where, so for me, somebody working in the field, I appreciate that the NFL's got, good programs for y'all to help y'all through those situations, because, there was a time that, most of these places, most of them, like if you look back in the like in the 80s and stuff, and you see how some of them older football players are, and they're just now getting help today from some of their stuff from back in the 80s, like surgeries and stuff. It shows how they used to be and how they are now. So that's much respect to them for stepping up to help y'all.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. It was good to find out, because you think you're all by yourself. In addiction, you think you're the only one. Like
absolutely,
the only one that's going through this.
Nobody else has ever gone through what I'm going through.
Because your ego is so big, man. So you never reach out and ask for help. And asking for help was seen as weakness. Like I didn't want to be seen as being weak. That was my worst fear.
Right, because that makes you think that you was pussy.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're not. I always tell.
And weakness is the strength.
It is.
In addiction, man. Like, really in life, man. Like, admitting weakness is strength.
It's courageous.
It's the thing that you got to do.
Yeah, admitting that you're weak to something is courageous.
Yeah.
And if you being in the locker room, there's got to be multiple people that's probably gone through it since you left, and they didn't want to reach out because they didn't want that feeling,
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, if they can see this, to see that you're thriving now and in recovery, and I think you told me you was hitting meetings. You go to meetings now, and
yeah, I go to meetings.
They call you a newbie because your leg shakes, because they think you're a newbie because you're anxiety. so like, for you to be able to do that, I would love. What we're trying to do here is break the stigma to addiction, mental health, all of it all at the same time, right? And so to have, a former NFL player on here sitting here telling people that you went through it, that's courageous, for one. I want to commend you for that. But two, if people go out and see this, like see some of your old teammates see this and they're like, hold up, I didn't know he went through this and he got better. I'm not the only one going through this. It would let people know that they're not alone. And that's the best part about the podcast. And that's the reason why I do this, is because I'm trying to show that addiction and mental health don't affect just a certain group.
No,
it affects,
man, it does not discriminate.
It
affects
does not.
Every person is 2 degrees away, 2 relationships away. It affects every family, every race, every
poverty,
religion, every socioeconomic status.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. Like, addiction is the disease of addiction is here to stay. The stigma's got to change too.
Absolutely.
Like, it'll take time, but it's always going to have that stigma.
It's kind of like we're just now, even with even like people who come out with mental health diagnosis, right? Used to, you couldn't even get into a treatment center unless you had almost faking an addiction. Like, you would literally have to go out and try something so it pop in your system to get mental health help. And it's just like, since COVID happened, the mental health side for men has really like taken off to where like, men do struggle. Men are struggling every day. Our generation, because we're about the same age, our generation is really the generation where it's like, hey, look, I'm not right. Something don't feel right. I don't feel good. I don't want to live no more. Somebody's got to help me. Like, because I didn't know it until after my grandpa passed away. When I finally went and got help, I cried, because I was like, my granddaddies are going to be so ashamed of me, because they were always like, only girls cry, And then I get out and my grandmama tells me that she was proud of me, which made me cry, because, your grandparents, they're strict. Like, they were old school. My grandparents lived through, like, they were born in the my grandmama's 90 years old, so she's been through it in life. But like, when she told me she was proud of me, I was like, I thought you'd be disappointed in me, because I'm the first grandchild and I'm the first grandson, So like, I'm supposed to hold up the family name, because that's how we feel. And she's like, if you only knew how bad your papa struggled with his mental health, and that he was on antidepressants the last 15 years of his life, but he was too ashamed to let any of y'all know, because he didn't want y'all to think nothing different of him. And for you to come out and just lay it out there, she's like, no, son. She's like, I'm proud of you. You're courageous. That made me lose it for like hours, because the way you're brought up in your family, you're like, can't cry, you're strong, blah, 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 blah. And in your case, I'm this big NFL player. I can't bow down to this addiction. And then you find out it hits you. And then for me, the first time I went in treatment, because I had to go more than once, I had to go twice. The first time I really, truly cried in treatment, it was embarrassing to be at first. But then I didn't realize how good it felt to be able to get some of that emotional trauma out and like give it a place. And I tell him all the time, man, I cry all the time now. Like, I don't even care. I'm going to cry. If I see a sad movie, I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
Like, and it's funny because to me, it's like the longer I get in treatment,
it's healthy to cry.
Yeah,
I mean, you got to cry.
But to me, I can watch
feel those emotions, but
absolutely
because you suppressed it for so long.
But to me, it's animal movies that get me.
Yeah.
Like if you put Marley and Me on TV, I'm not getting through that one. That's movie. I'm not getting through it. Like I'm gonna have an emotional breakdown on that movie, you know. But like it's good to cry, you know, and it's good for you to say it's good to cry because crying's important. Like they don't understand crying is healthy.
Yeah. Well, processing emotions. I mean, I could take sadness and turn it into anger and get rewarded for it because I mean, football was really good for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I had an outlet for that anger.
Yeah. So like
I could turn it. I could whatever made me sad. Like when my dad died. I mean, I was so sad. But I mean, my dad died in June. I got to grieve for about 3 weeks, and then I had training camp. And
so you was just.
And then I went straight back to it. And I had a great season because I had all that sadness that I was turning into anger, and then putting it out on the football field, and then still just suppressing all that. Because you didn't real emotions.
Yeah, because you didn't process none of it. You didn't process none of it. You just. But see, that's what men do. That's what we do. Like, you know, when we're told at a young age we can't cry, we turn our sadness into anger, so we forget about hurt feelings, upset, being
resentment,
sad.
Yeah, and all that resentment that you're holding.
And so now everything we're either happy or we're pissed off, angry. Like we go 0 to 100 either way, and for you to say, you know, you used that as anger on the field. Of course you did, because like at that point you still didn't know how to process your emotions. So, you know, and then you go to treatment. You said 3 places, so you went to.
Yeah, I've been multiple times.
Multiple times, but each time you went, you probably learned more and more on like.
Yeah, each time I went, I surrendered a little more, and then because I'd gone and then I'd relapse, and so each time I relapsed, I took my will back. So just surrendering, asking for help, accepting that help too.
The last time you went, let's talk about the last time you went. The last time you went and you were like, I think I got it this time. Can you pinpoint what was so different the last time you went and got it?
Man, I really gave up. I really surrendered and was open-minded to a spiritual solution, and to accepting that help and really willing to do the work that it takes to recover.
Yeah.
To look at all the things that were holding me back and really kind of deflate my ego, get my ego to a healthy spot. Because that's where, when my ego gets up, I take back my will, I think I got it, and then I can just do one, and then that's where it all
falls apart real quick.
That's where it all goes away.
So before you got it that last time, you would come out and you're like, I got this. I got my spirituality. I'm good. Little ego kicks in. You're like, I can do just one drink.
Yeah.
And then a month later, you're back to what you was, if not worse.
Yep.
Because usually we go right back to where we was, if not worse. You know, I remember the last time I cut, I was in PHP through the ranch, and my therapist there was Miss Jackie. God bless her. She saved my life that day. She held me after class. I only had 1 week of PHP left, and she's like, Juice, you're not doing good. I'm like, no, I'm fine. I got this. I'm good. And she's like, you're not good. She said, if I asked you to raise your short leg up right now, are you going to tell me no? And I was like, I remember raising my head back so she couldn't see my face on the video camera. And I was like, so I raised my pant leg up and stood in front of the camera. She's like, honey, that's not just cutting. That's rage cutting. She's like, you're out of control. And I was like, yes, ma'am. And she's like, can you make it a couple of days until I get you somewhere? I was like, I would need a couple of days anyway, because I got to figure out how to get back. And so when I got back, she gave me a hug. She's like, I'm so glad you're back. And I was like, I'm ready to surrender. Like, I've got to surrender. Because it got to the point right there at the end. I think the last time I went back, I had bandages on my legs when I went back, because I had cut probably 75 times. Just rage, just anger, because I was so mad that I was losing my mind again to my depression and suicidal thoughts, that I was like, I just rage cut. And then when I went back, I didn't find spirituality the first time I was there, and that was my missing component. I had no spirituality when I left. So when I went back the second time, I just surrendered. I was like, God, I can't do this. Like, I know I have been against you for many years, but I've done everything I can to try to fix myself, and I can't. And you're my last hope. Like, I surrendered. I will do whatever I got to do to never feel this bad again. I didn't realize just having the spirituality component gave you such a freedom of yourself. That's where I learned it from. Like, that was my changing thing, because, like, once I got the spirituality component, I had somebody else that I could give my problems to. I didn't have to carry them all day, every day.
You weren't alone.
Yeah.
You're not alone.
Like, not alone no more.
And, man, I've tried 1,000 times to get sober by myself.
Yeah.
And it, not once did it work, but until now that I don't rely on myself, I rely on my higher power, I rely on my friends and my relationships.
Not scared to pick up the phone and call somebody?
To call and talk about and get out of my head. And, man, that's just all the difference in the world. It's just getting out of my head. When I'm sad, to tell somebody I'm sad and to share a problem and man, I feel half that weight is gone as soon as I talk about it.
So when you hit sobriety last time, you're still with your wife, right? You're still with your wife.
Yeah, my wife has stood by me for 15. We've been married for 15 years.
So she was the angel. You absolutely said she is.
She was the angel that God dropped in my life.
I was shouting out to his wife. Shout out to the wife.
Yeah, Katie is my soulmate, and man, I owe amends to her for the rest of my life. A living amends to her for sure. Man, I'm grateful beyond all comprehension. It's impossible for me to explain how grateful I am.
Yeah.
For her believing in me and really leading me back to God every time, and never wavering, being that rock.
So how many years in recovery you got now?
Man, I've been getting sober since 2012.
Nice.
The longest I've had is 2.5 years, and that's where I'm at now.
That's good. We're about the same spot then.
Well, that's the last time I was at.
Yeah.
So, about 4 months now. Sobriety is my first priority. Like, nothing else can be had without being sober first, because the disease of addiction. My brain is wired to self-destruct on any substance, and I've tried them all, and nothing can be done successfully. I just have to accept that help, and I have to keep it in the forefront of every day. And for today, I'm not going to use anything to change my mood today.
Absolutely.
And just do that day after day. Just working a 12-step program, really working a program.
Do you do the AA, NA, like what?
AA. And
because I know with your substances, I didn't know if you was doing AA or NA.
I've been to NA, AA. I've seen Smart Recovery, Celebrate Recovery.
Celebrate
all
Recovery.
of them.
Yeah, I did EA.
EA.
There's not EA meetings in Nashville, but I did mine online. It's Emotions Anonymous. It helps me with my depression and my anxiety, and it helps me to regulate my emotions and stuff. A lot of people have never heard of EA, but EA's been around since 1976, I believe. Yeah. And so, like, that was my go-to, because I didn't have a substance abuse issue besides cutting and multiple suicide attempts. So when I was at the ranch, they had a book that said Emotions Anonymous on it, and everybody was getting like an EA book or an NA book, and I was like, those don't relate to me.
Yeah.
And
well, man, I'll use anything that changes how I feel.
Yeah.
And anger was one that I used for a long time. Like, man, my mood swings were so out of control, and so my family never knew where. Like, they would just walk on eggshells.
Right, they didn't know how to approach you.
So anything, they didn't know how to react. So, man, that emotional sobriety has been one of the biggest gifts, and really something that you earn. It's like, you have to earn that emotional sobriety.
Yeah, because your emotional
processing and working the steps.
Absolutely, you got
doing inventory.
Yes,
a lot of prayer, meditation.
Yeah. So, like, in your recovery today, do you have like a routine you do every day to help you stay in recovery? Like, do you hit a meeting every day, or? Like mine, I get up in the morning, I meditate and I pray, and then I do my work here, and then if I have a rough time here, I'll step aside and meditate and pray, and then every night before I go to bed, I meditate and pray, and then if I get riled up, my anger gets built up, I do a skill called TIP, it's TIPP, and I use the thermometer, the temperature side of that, to where I bury my face in ice water, because it'll help me with my anger and my anxiety immediately. It'll like restart me. It's kind of like back in the NFL days when you used to jump in the coat in the ice bath, and it would be like,
yeah, it takes
that's exactly what it does. It helps reset your whole internal clock.
Yep, man. You got to have a routine. Yeah, it's asking for help in the morning, calling somebody, hitting a meeting, thanking God for the day.
Absolutely.
And taking inventory, like really going over your day and all the good and bad, and then making amends for it.
And you got some sponsees now too, right?
Yeah.
Are they doing
Been
well?
working with guys, man, and that's a great piece of it too.
Absolutely. Like,
it's taking somebody else through the steps.
Man,
unlocks a lot of stuff.
I agree with you 100% because, it's just, for me, it's just like, I can't even describe it. Like, one of my sponsees hit a year. I hit 2 years in May, and he hit 1 year in May. And I was literally prouder to see him hit a year than me hit 2 years. I mean, I was proud of myself, but I was proud that I could guide this soul to a 1 year when he had no sobriety since he was a kid. And the first time he ever had a year was this year, so like, just to be able to guide him through that first year, it was just like, to be able to give him that 1 year coin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was just like, oh my God, this is like the greatest feeling.
Yeah, man. It's a magical thing, man. It's like a spiritual thing when you help somebody else through the steps, and man, you by default, you're going through the steps too.
Yeah,
with them.
I'm sitting here, because when you're working the steps, you're pretty much, you're teaching them, but like, in order to teach them, you kind of got to show them. So like,
yeah, so you're going through them again.
Yeah, like, let's do number 4, because number 4 is that number.
Yep.
I tell everybody all the time, number 4, number 9. That's the 2. That's like,
those are the work steps.
those are the 2. I had my other sponsor. He did step 4 one time, and he came back with like 2 pages of, and I was like, nah, bro. Nah, you ain't got just 2 pages. Like, if you ain't got a half a notebook, like, you need to sit on this one for a minute. I was like, step 4 is not one you play with. Step 4 should take you a while. Like,
I mean, you got to get it all out.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what it is.
And he's like, even little stuff. I said, anything that you feel like is weighing on your heart that you need to write down on a piece of paper, that's what you need to write down. I was like, if you feel like you cheated somebody on purpose, let's write it down.
Yeah. Anybody that walks through that door, like, if you have any kind of
Right.
hesitation of whether,
if they're gonna have problems with
walk
you,
through the door, you better write them down.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I'm gonna use that next time. Hey, if somebody was to walk through that door right now, if they got an issue with you, that's what you need to write down.
Yeah.
All of it? Yes, all of it, every bit of it.
Yeah, thorough.
I'm not here to judge you. I'm here for you to read it to me. I'm not even gonna read it. You're gonna read it to me.
Yeah, man. And the steps are a magical thing too, and it's ancient practice too. I mean, we put it together through AA, or Bill and Dr. Bob put it together.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's old knowledge of confession, contrition. Like,
Yeah.
But the way it packaged and the way the big book is written is
I mean, the big book guy has it wrote. I mean, it's broke down to like, if you do it through the big book, you cannot mess it up.
Yeah, it's a proven way. I mean, I've seen thousands of people. Like, I've got relationships with so many people that work the steps.
And that's all they did. They never went to treatment.
Took somebody else through the steps. No, I mean all types: treatment, non-treatment.
Yeah,
there's a million ways. There's a million ways to get sober. It doesn't have to be through the steps.
Absolutely
but
not.
This is the only one I've seen where I can list 100 names of people that did it this way. Like, there's a few people that I know that, like my father-in-law, he just stopped drinking. Like, just stopped drinking, started going to church, started waking up early, like, was sober. My brother-in-law, same thing. But so many people have gone through the steps through AA and worked that program. It's not the only way, but it's the best way I know.
Yeah, I mean,
to get sober.
We talked, me and him, he's never had recovery. Brian hasn't, but like, he's been on here enough times. There's not a perfect way to do recovery. No. Everybody's way is their own way.
There's no 2 recoveries that are the same.
Because, some people go through treatment and then never do 12 steps and never do a meeting, and they're fine. Yep. And then you got some people that never do treatment, do 12 steps, go to meetings religiously every day of the week, fine. And then you have some people that do a mixture of both and hit a couple meetings a week. And it's just like, there's no wrong way to get recovery. No. We just want you to get it.
Yeah, as long as it works.
As long as it works, And my big component is, I have noticed how much nicer I am to just everybody.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a spiritual change. It's a complete spiritual shift.
Yeah, Because, like, before I got recovery, I'll give you an example. Before I got recovery, I didn't understand homelessness. I was ignorant to it. Like, I would be like, they did it to themselves. You know what I'm saying? But then I get recovery, and I work with homeless people now. And then I realize a lot of their stories is just they got sick, missed a week of work, missed one check, lost everything, hit the streets, got lost into drugs. And then you look at it, and it changed my whole perspective to where now, like, I even go in like gas stations, and I don't know the people in there, but I make sure I say hi to them, and I hope they have a blessed day, because I know how many times they've been yelled at during the day, and I just want to be able to say have a blessed day, because you never know what kind word or what one person's word that was kind keeps that person from doing when they got off work. So I just try to be nice. If I come in contact with somebody, I'm being nice to them, and
that's the best way.
So we
passing that gift along. Man.
Yeah. Do you go to meetings every week?
Yeah, man. I go to meetings in Franklin and Brentwood, man. Mostly every day. Like, man, I used to go right when I moved to Nashville. So I moved back to Nashville 2 years ago, and right when I got in town, I was going 4 meetings a day because I had to fill up all the time that I was out chasing around. And man, slowly have replaced meetings with service commitments and just other things, family stuff, coaching my son's football teams.
Where's he playing football?
Yeah, he was in Brentwood Blaze, and I'm gonna try and follow him as he gets older, and just really spend more time with the family at night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just work on keep recovery as a priority, but take on some other balance.
Yeah, of course. Like, because for us in our recovery, of course, God's first, and then it's our recovery. And then, our family, because everybody's like, oh, why'd you put recovery over your family? I'm like, because if I don't have my recovery, I don't have my family. So, like, it's not that I'm proud. It's not that I say that I love my recovery more than my family. It's just they know I need to be in recovery, or I'm not going to be good to nobody, And so, like, and then once you start getting that balance where you can still do your meetings and your service work, and then with the family, it's phenomenal. So now that you're back in Nashville, have you thought yourself of like doing anything in the recovery field? Like, have you thought about doing anything in the recovery field or anything like that?
I'm going where I'm called. Like right now, I'm just trying to stay connected, stay active, trying to get some more service commitments, and just see where I'm led.
Okay, that's good. Because like our recovery world, we could use people like you.
Yeah, there's great recovery in Nashville.
Nashville, like everybody always talks about Nashville being a big party town, which it is. It's a huge party town. But Nashville has one of the best recovery. It's one of the best recovery big towns and big cities in the country. Like,
yeah, I agree.
A lot of people that come to the ranch, for example, in Dixon, they wind up just staying in Nashville because we have a great big group of alumni, and we do alumni events once a month. Like, we went to the zoo a couple months ago. Like, we do things together, and it's just, it gives them that security because we have a huge alumni following in Nashville. So like a lot of times when people leave the ranch, they're like, I'm just going to stay in Nashville, or they stay in Dixon because they go to meetings while they're at the meetings down there. So they go to the meetings down in Dixon. So like Nashville to Dixon's kind of like a nice little, because you got Franklin and Brentwood all in that little hub right there. So like it's all a good little area for recovery. You say you're coaching your son in football?
Yeah, I coached him. I didn't coach him this past year, but for the last couple of years I was coaching. I was an assistant coach. And then before that, I was a high school coach for a long time.
Oh, was you?
Yeah, in West Tennessee and Ohio for a couple of years.
Well, we're glad you're back in Nashville, man.
Yeah, man, I'm glad to be here.
We're happy.
It feels like home. Like this is where we want to spend our life, keep the home base. I just got my PSLs for the Titans. Hopefully we get better. There's only one way to go up.
I mean, I will say this, because, we can talk a little football too. I like Cam Ward. I do. I think he's going to be a good quarterback. I tell you what I don't like. I don't like after 7 games everybody's calling him a bust. It bothers me because he's literally played 7 games. Like, as a Titans fan, it's obviously they don't have an offensive line, because me and Brian was at the game Sunday, and every time he said hike, there was 3 defenders on him.
Yeah, man.
Am I wrong, Brian?
It's a struggle, man. That's the way it goes, though.
And the worst part is the defense looks great,
yeah,
and then they get tired in the second half, and then that's when they pile the points on.
What's hard about NFL is when you get eliminated mathematically from the playoffs, man. Everybody plays for themselves, and man, to be a great football team, you got to play for each other, and you got to give great effort and really play for each other because of those relationships. So, and you end up beating people that you don't think you're going to beat when you play like that, and that's rare to have. But the great teams, the championship teams, that's what they do.
Have you ever thought about coaching at a higher level?
Yeah, man. I got into high school coaching, and man, flirted with college and
did that get
NFL,
the dopamine going a little bit?
It's such a commitment.
Yeah,
I wanted to commit to my family.
Absolutely,
and be a father first.
Absolutely, I get that.
If that's where I was led, I just wasn't led there.
Absolutely, you know, we letting God just lead us where we're supposed to go these days.
Yeah.
Coming toward the end of our show, say we got a little high school or college football player that's struggling, thinks he's going through it, thinks he's the only one going through this pain and stuff. You know, kind of like what you was doing when you was in college. You know, he's partying up, but then he's getting to the point where it just don't feel good no more. You know, like he's staying sick. He's starting not to do what he needs to do on the field because he's starting to struggle with addiction and stuff. What would you tell that kid that could try to help him get some help?
Man, ask for help. You've got to ask for help. Just open your mouth. Tell somebody. I'm struggling. I need help.
Absolutely. Well, with that being said, we have come to the end of our show. I also, as y'all can see, I still got on Alan's hat. Alan, we love you. We're praying for you. Anybody that don't know who Alan is with Chase Away Fentanyl. His son passed away in 2023 of a fentanyl overdose. And he started Chase Away Fentanyl and handing out Narcan to all these towns and setting up these boxes for people in different towns. We got one here in Gouldsville that he helped set up for us. He got diagnosed with leukemia a couple weeks ago. We're praying for you. We love you, Alan. I know you're going to watch this, so like the show's dedicated to you again, my guy. If anybody needs help, reach out to us on our website, morningjuicepod.com. You can go to our Instagram at Morning Juice Pod. See, our socials are Spotify, Apple at Morning Juice Pod, YouTube, The Morning Juice. Reach out to us. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Please subscribe. We need some subscribers. And with that being said, y'all, Donnie, it was great seeing you.
Yeah,
nice.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Thank you for coming on here, man.
Absolutely.
With that being said, we see you later, juicers. Bye.